All right, well, it's about 11:01, so I would love for us to get started. Thank you all so much for attending. My name is Danielle Keane. I am one of the enrollment managers here at John Carroll. I'm also an alumna of JCU. I majored in political science and I do have a minor in economics, so I'm really excited to be in this session. So if you're not familiar, this is a follow-up question and answer for the academic session for accountancy, economics, finance, and financial planning and wealth management. As you ask your questions, I ask that you submit them to the chat function, and I will pose the question to our lovely panelists who have chosen to join us. But before we do that, I just want to share very quickly, US News and World Report ranked John Carroll #1 in undergraduate teaching in the Midwest for 2020. That's because we strive for more than what's required academically, personally, and socially, and empower you to achieve what others see as improbable. We recognize that lifelong exploration connects us to endless discovery, wonder, and joy. So you'll graduate unafraid to pursue the unknown. And we have several of those highly rated faculty members here with us today, as well as some really incredible students to share their experiences with you. So with all that being said, if you are one of our panelists, could you just quickly introduce yourselves so that everyone is familiar with you, and that will give our attendees some chance to submit their questions into the chat feature.
Hi, I'm Andy Welke. I'm a faculty member in the Econ and Finance Department, and I also serve as the faculty rep to our sports programs in the NCAA.
Hello, I'm Dr. alnagy. I'm the chair of the Accountancy Department, and I've been here at John Carroll now for over 20 years. So I'm glad to see everybody.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Mark Sheldon. I'm in the accounting department and I'm just wrapping up my 4th year, so nowhere near Dr. Nagy. He's got me there.
Hi, my name is Feng Zhan. I'm a associate professor in finance. It's my 6th year here.
Hi everyone, my name is Sean. I'm a professor from the Econ and Finance Department, and I'm also the director for our financial planning and wealth management program. So any question, feel free to ask.
I'm Evan Welsh. I'm from Pittsburgh, PA. I'm going to be a sophomore in the fall. I'm an econ and finance double major with a data science minor.
I'm Sam Bornhorst. I'm going to be a senior in the fall, and I'm econ with a statistics minor, and I'm CB track.
Hi guys, my name is Kristen Jessberger. I'm a sophomore at John Carroll, double majoring in finance and economics, with minors in Spanish and leadership development.
I'm Antonia Piazza. I'm a senior accounting major and entrepreneurship minor on the CPA track.
All right, is there anybody else? I can only see a certain amount of us on the screen, so that's it for all of our panelists? Okay, fantastic. As I said, everyone, please feel comfortable to add your questions into the chat function. I'll be going through those. And as we wait for you all to start, I actually have a question for the panelists. Anyone can feel free to take this, but I'm curious to know, are there any internships that are required for any of the majors that are listed in this group?
I guess I'll start. We do not require an internship, but we certainly do have a formal internship program, and the vast majority of our students do take advantage of that. For example, out of a class size, I'd say about for 45 or 50, per class. This current spring and summer, I counted up, we have about 27 or 28 of those students out on internships for the spring and summer this semester. The vast majority of those are with the big 4 accounting firms. Of the 27 or 28 are doing interns, I think about, I'd say upwards of 16 or 17 are with the big 4. And the others are with some excellent regional and local firms as well. Often those internships lead to job offers. And most of the internships occur with our students their junior year. So they'll go out and they'll do a full-time internship, spring semester, well paid. And then they'll come back for summer classes and get caught back up academically. So many of our accounting majors have a job in hand right after their junior year, which is wonderful for them. It makes our job a little tougher to keep them motivated because they still need to graduate. But I think it just speaks volumes of how heavily our students are recruited by the accounting firms.
Within the econ and finance area, the econ major does require an internship. The finance major does not, but the vast majority of our majors will have one and or more internships. We think it's an important part of their professional development as well as their self-discovery. And like all of the Boler internships, we frown upon unpaid internships, so you can anticipate internships are going to be paid. We think that it encourages the firms to give you more meaningful work. We think it allows it to have greater value for you as a person. Thank you.
Okay, I have another question for you all. Could anybody speak to balancing the rigors of the Boler College of Business curriculum with maintaining other student leadership positions, whether they're leadership or athletically related? How are you able to find a balance with those other responsibilities?
I'd say as someone who plays a sport and has, various leadership roles, it's, the professors are very flexible with finding time, both to work you into, certain schedules that you might need and to allow you and work with you when you want to do something through a club or kind of on your own to bring in either speakers or, whatever that might be, to really help you succeed in whatever and however ambitious you want to be. So it's all kind of dependent on how ambitious you want to be with that leadership, playing sports, and maintaining a good GPA.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Sam. The professors are very helpful with understanding that college definitely isn't just a time to learn about a specific subject, but it's also a time to join clubs and develop these strong leadership skills that you can use outside of school. And from my experience, a lot of my stuff, it has been busy at times, but the professors really understand that and make full use of the class time that we do have to teach you the best that they can.
I can add on a little bit too. I would say as long as you keep everything organized and communicate as early as it's very helpful. For sports, your coaches will give you a page of like all of your away games or meets or whatever it is the beginning of the semester, and you want to give that to your professors highlighted with the classes you'll be missing right away, and they'll work with you so that you can catch up beforehand because they don't really like it if you have to take something later, which is fair. Also, I recommend using a planner, whether it's on your phone or in paper, but at the beginning of the semester when you get your syllabi from your professors, write down those things so then you can keep track of everything. And then another thing is just prioritizing. I mean, school does come first, so you have to work with your coaches and they're very understanding as well. And then that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you all so much for sharing. We have a question submitted by Meredith. And Meredith would like to know, is it easy to study abroad while you're doing the business majors?
I guess I'll start on this one. We have a variety of programs that are regular programs. So we have our Boler London program, which would put people over in London typically second semester of sophomore year. From the time our students arrive on campus, if you're planning an experience elsewhere, we encourage them to work with their academic advisors to start to put together plans to make it as seamless as possible so that your experience elsewhere allows you to bring your credits back in, satisfying a variety of John Carroll requirements, and in that particular process, allow you to stay on path to a 4-year graduation. We draw upon our Jesuit network so that business schools within the Jesuit constellation and their programs, as well as AACSB accredited business schools throughout the world, become options. So we've had students in China, we've had students in Australia. You can pick pretty much any part of the world. And if you plan early, I think it becomes an option that you can take advantage of. And it's an important one to explore.
Okay, thank
I
you
agree
so much.
with, am I on? I agree with Dr. Welke. I just want to stress though, if you are planning to study abroad in the business school, you really should plan early. because there's only so many business classes you could take when studying abroad as compared to the liberal arts classes. So it clearly is certainly an option, and we encourage that. It's a wonderful experience. But if you plan on doing that, you really should talk to folks early and plan early, and you can certainly make it happen.
Danny, I just wanted to jump in real quick too.
Sure.
Also, if you're not looking to go for like a whole semester, or maybe you can't fit a whole semester into your schedule, you can do some of the smaller programs too. I know, unfortunately, it was canceled due to current world conditions, but I was going to study abroad in London this summer for about 4 weeks and just take one business course while I was over there. And as a student athlete, that worked really well in my schedule because I do need to be on campus for most of the times during the school year. So that is an opportunity as well, as to do some of those smaller programs that aren't necessarily going to take that whole semester away from you if you do need to be on campus for other things, but you can still do that during the summer.
All right. Thank you guys so much. We're going to jump over to the next question that we have. So could anyone speak to how the finance program would work if you're hoping to do the 3+3 program with CASE? And I assume that's the 3+3 law program that you're speaking of. Okay, I saw a nod from you, Isabella. Thank you. Could anybody speak to that?
I guess I could speak briefly to that particular program. The 3+3 programs with CASE have been a success, I think. We find them a little bit easier to manage going through the College of Arts and Sciences. The only one that's sort of well-defined right now that aligns well with Boler and CASE's law program happens to be through the econ department, because there's a little bit more flexibility there. That doesn't mean that it can't be built, but I think it would require a lot of careful planning. We always encourage our students as well to imagine not just thinking about any particular law school, but thinking about the best possible law school for them. And while CASE is a great law school, we have our students graduate Boler and go into all kind of other law schools as well, and be, scholarshiped to the max and proceed to succeed there as well. And it gives them a broader national reach.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Welke. Next question was submitted by Cassidy. So this is drawing back to the internship question. So if you do an internship in the spring semester, how would it work to catch up on coursework during the summer? And then can you still use scholarship money for those summer classes?
I could take that one. The answer is for the accountancy program, yes. We structured our program as such where students can do a full-time internship in the spring semester, because that's when the accounting firms really need the students. That's the busy season for accounting. So we structured our program accordingly, and it's been really a win-win. So what typically happens is our group of interns go out and they do their spring internship full-time, well paid. They don't go to school in the spring, and then they come back. We start up a tax class at the very end of April just for the interns. So the students will come back and the interns will start taking a tax course in accounting, and then they'll pick up intermediate accounting 2 in the summer, and then cost accounting at the back end of the summer. And then along with that, they'll pick up 1 or 2 other courses, either a business core or a liberal arts course. So they'll take 12 to 15 hours in the summer. It's busy, but it gets them caught back up academically. And financial aid and scholarships do carry over. So we work that out accordingly. So it's really been a very successful program for us, and students in the firm really love it.
I just wanted to piggyback off of what Dr. Nagy said. I just wanted to clarify that not all business schools do this, where the scholarships transfer over the summer. So when you're considering other schools, that's an important question to ask, because it's a great opportunity that John Carroll offers. And then I was just going to answer Matthew's question because it's closely related. Because of that, you are able to graduate in 4 years with an internship. In fact, it's very common. So it's actually kind of uncommon not to. So, but whatever path is great.
Thank you both for that. Kind of addressing Haley's question and then fitting Matthew's within that. Is anybody able to talk about the timeline of what it looks like to navigate a Boler degree with maybe an accounting major? Like, what classes would you begin freshman year, sophomore, and how would that path look moving through that Boler curriculum?
I guess I'll start, Andy. The typical path, or traditionally it's been students start taking the principles of accounting 201 and 202. That's the business core courses sophomore year, but we're changing that. More and more freshmen are now starting to take the 201, 202 sequence because more and more of you folks are coming in with AP credits and want to get rolling sooner. So we've adapted accordingly. So the 201 and 202 courses, that's business core courses, freshman, sophomore year, and then you start your upper level accounting courses, and that's usually done, following that. Sophomore, junior, and senior, mainly junior and senior year are the upper level accounting courses.
I guess just all I would add is we think that the first year tends to be foundational. So the courses that are typically taken within Boler are going to have applicability across all the majors. We realize that as a aspiring business leader, you might be undecided exactly about where you fit. And so we want to put you on a path that allows you to explore some of that, take advantage of the professional advising we have, use the alumni networks that we've created, take advantage of BPD to start to get a better handle on who you are as a person, because it's going to be a path of self-discovery for you for the next 4 years. And so to give you as many options as possible, we think is the most important thing that we can do for you.
Great, thank you so much. We have another question related to the 4+1 MBA program. So can anyone speak to what that would look like and potentially majoring in accounting from that lens?
Good question. As you may be aware, you need 150 college credit hours to be eligible to sit for the CPA exam. And essentially all of our majors do indeed sit for the CPA, and they do very well. We're typically nationally ranked as far as CPA exam pass rates. So the goal is to get CPA licensure with your accounting degree. So we've worked out a few programs. The traditional approach is students will get their undergrad in accounting in 4 years and then move right on into the Master's of Accountancy program for their 5th year. 3 consecutive semesters, they're all in the evening, so students can start working if they want to. We have a lot of scholarship money available, so we make it very affordable for students as well for that 5th year. And it's a wonderful curriculum. We completely revised it, and I think we really hit some topics that will help students early in their accountancy careers. Several of our students also do double majors, and that's fine. We encourage that as well. It's not uncommon for students to double major in accounting and finance. Also, other students have minors as well. Entrepreneurship is a common minor, and we have some wonderful minors across campus here at John Carroll. So it really depends on the student. If the student comes in with a lot of AP credits and a lot of college credits, extra credits, that would probably encourage them, well, maybe look for a double major or another minor and finish in 4 years to start your career. If not, if students are doing a more traditional approach, then we certainly have that 5th year in place as well, and it's pretty seamless. So it seems to be working pretty well for our program.
All right, thank you very much. And I think we have a great question submitted by Rebecca, and she would like to know, is it doable to get a major from the Boler College of Business and still get the prerequisites for a pre-health post-grad degree, such as a pre-PA program or a pre-med program? Is that possible?
I'll take a whack at this. I would encourage anybody who is sort of undecided between sciences and business to first stop would be on the science side of the program. We have a great pre-health advisory program led by Kathy Lee. She is well familiar with all of the various programs out there. And so then after decisions are made, or at least an understanding is made of what are the necessary courses to sit for to pass professional exams, you're then in a position to start to imagine how I want to use what elective credits I have. to then start to build them toward other things within Boler and or elsewhere. What we found recently is a number of people start off in science paths, and toward the end of that, they might want to gravitate over into our MBA program. And so toward the back end of your academic career, you can start to take courses that align you well for entry right into the MBA program, which is sort of a different kind of mix as people sort of explore, because we understand that people are multi-interested, multi-talented, and they want to keep as many doors open as possible.
Just from a number standpoint with that, if you take 18 credits every semester, that's the max you can take for the same tuition rate. The average is 15. That's graduating with 144 credits, and a business degree is 120. So that leaves you room for 24 credits of other classes that you can take if you take a full schedule, and that's not counting like things that count for both. So if that helps you logistically at all.
Based off of your past two responses, that actually prompted a question for me. How common would it be for a Boler student to major in something else or have a minor in something else? Is that possible? Have any students done something along those lines? We've kind of touched on that, but I'd like to potentially hear more.
I know me and Evan will probably both talk about double majoring in the data science aspect, and I know accounting is starting to bring a lot of data science into their a field, but to sit for the CBE exam, Certified Business Economist, you have to take a lot of the econometrics classes, which actually double count if you're getting a statistics or data science minor. So I know it's very easy, at least for us in the econ world, to get a minor or even a double major in the data science, statistics, that kind of math focused world.
Yeah, to go off that, it's only, if you are an econ major, it's only 12 extra credits to do a data science minor. And that covers anything from like intro to programming and then intro to data systems, databases, stuff like that.
Great, that's awesome to know. And we have another good question submitted by Lynette. So after completing the finance planning and wealth management major, would we be in a position to sit for the CFP test?
Yes, it's a great question. Yes, John Carroll University's CFP board registered program. It's the only one in Cleveland area. So all the courses you take here gonna automatically meet your educational requirements to sit for CFP exam. So absolutely, you will be able to enroll in the exam and sit for exam, CFP exam. Yes, good question.
All right, folks, we have about 6 minutes left within this session. So as I said, we want to be respectful of your time and make sure you're able to get to that next 11:30 session. So if you have questions that you're dying to have answered, please go ahead and submit them.
If I could just build on one thing Sean said.
Sure.
Many of our programs within Boler are aligned with external professional credentials. So whether it's the CPA program, whether it's the CFP program, whether it's the CFA, Certified Financial Analyst, whether it's the Certified Business Economist, we strongly believe in putting ourselves at the forefront of all the credentialing. And we think it's important that our curriculum are aligned to that. And what we find that it gives our Boler students a professional advantage when they move out into their career paths.
Thank you. I have another question here from Connor. So if we were to come into the business school as an undecided business student, when do you need to decide your major, and how would that support in finding your major look like to an undecided business student?
I came in business undecided, and I knew I wanted to do something business though, so that was helpful. And you have to decide by second semester, sophomore year, to declare your major. I recommend that if you're not sure if you want to stay in business though, that you should probably make an effort to discern that sooner, because it's harder if you're switching out of the business school to wait until second semester, sophomore year, but it's definitely feasible. But a little bit off of what Welke had talked about earlier is that the business core, you have to take Econ 201 and 202, Accounting 201, 202, regardless of your major. And then eventually you take Marketing and Supply Chain, but those you typically take junior year. So that will help you decide, because that's one thing I loved about the Boler core is that it gives you an intro at every major. So you're a well-rounded business student, if that answers your question.
If let me add a little bit of things that at the Boler School of Business, we have so many student organized organization, such as finance, accounting, investment. They do invite a lot of outside speaker to speak to our student. You can join without declare any major. You can join at the freshman year as well. So that also will help you find your own interest. Hope that helps.
Yeah, and to add to that, the clubs and organizations in Boler are starting to kind of work together more and have more fairs and more places where you can come and meet people from every different, supply chain, accounting, finance, econ, and where we're all in one room that can kind of expose you to as many of these different majors, as you want, and help you make that decision.
Yeah, going off of that, even just a little bit more, I know we have a variety of extracurricular groups that you can also kind of explore during your freshman or even sophomore year as well. I know we have like a finance association, an economics association, Boler Business Leadership Society, and a lot of those groups are meant to help you explore the different paths that you can take your business degree. And so they'll bring in a lot of really helpful speakers, people who work at, local businesses such as Key Bank, even with like sports, like the Cavaliers or things like that. So you can really explore all the different paths that your business degree can take you by going to these extracurricular activities as well.
You can also feel free to stop into pretty much anyone professor's office. We love to brag about our major and our careers. So as Antonia said, you don't really need to decide upon a major until second semester sophomore year. So I encourage you, early and often, go see the events, get involved with the student organizations, talk to your professors, and you'll be able to decide what's good for you.
Yeah, if I was going to add anything, I would add simply the fact that I think that that's where the role of internships are so important. I think you get a different level of understanding of what the work is like when you spend some time in that particular field. That's why a number of our students end up with multiple internships as they're exploring different dimensions of themselves. And so that stuff can start as early as freshman year, seeking out opportunities to get involved. Obviously, you're going to be of more desire at later stages, but building relationships with our alumni network is so powerful because that's how you're going to get aligned and professionally connected.
And I would say, especially to kind of figure out what you want to do with internships, the summer of my freshman year, I had an internship that was more along the lines of finance. I did it. It turns out that's something I didn't like. The following year, I had an internship in economic development. I liked it more, but it still wasn't kind of exactly what I was thinking. And then this upcoming summer, I have an internship that I just found out it will not be in person, but it'll be online. But it is something that I really kind of feel passionate about. And I don't think I would have gotten to this stage if I hadn't explored these other options with internships, even though they weren't like super well paying in the beginning. It got me to a place I'm really happy with.
Okay, that looks to be just about all of our time. Connor, I think that was a great question to end on. It seems like everyone really had something to offer there. So I thank everyone for such great questions. Anyone in Boler, what's the best way to get in touch with you all? Is there a common email address that they could send for additional questions?
Yeah, I mean, I would assume you could, probably the simplest way would be to just go on to the website and look for faculty emails. I'm sure we're all in our remote world monitoring those much more conscientiously than we probably did in the past. And so from that standpoint, never hesitate to reach out. I know I can't speak for my colleagues, but I'll be happy to Zoom with anyone on a one-on-one basis if they thought that that would be helpful to answer some questions. I know you're living in probably in as remote world from school as we are, and it's an alien environment for all of us, and I hope you're successfully navigating it.
I'd like to echo Dr. Welke's statement. Yeah, please feel free to reach out to me or any of my colleagues with any questions or concerns you have, I'll be glad to have a Zoom meeting with you, or I'll certainly respond to emails as well. So I think we'll all be very accessible for that.
So, and Danielle, I mean, anybody working through their admissions counselor can find, really, kind of as the quarterback, finding the right faculty member or the right student or alumni to help out with any questions. So good morning, everyone. I'm Al Mikiak. I'm Dean of the Boler College, and finish strong, particularly for those seniors on the screen today.
I thought you were talking to the faculty.
Yeah, if I can add one thing to the question about how we can get contacted. Like, one thing I would recommend is if you have an interest in any major, you can go to our Boler website. There's a program of study. So there are different type of major information links you can click into. You can get a tons of like informational type of knowledge over there. So if you still have questions, then definitely feel free to contact a specific professor, ask specific questions.
All right, thank you all so much for attending. Thank you for your expertise, panelists. And to our admitted students, we really do hope you choose to attend JCU next year. I think I speak for all of us when I say this is an incredible institution and you can do incredible things with a John Carroll education.
And we're better face-to-face than Zoom.
Amen. All right, enjoy your next sessions, everyone. Thanks again.